Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Magic from Creativity for Sale podcast, a quick fire episode sharing tips and tricks from the pages of the book of the same title. Yes, Creativity for Sale. Every week I'll be sharing 1 or 2 ideas that could give you an actionable takeaway for your creative career, your business, or just a food for thought for the weekend ahead. These tips are taken from the audiobook and you can find a link to the full version in the show notes. So we're arriving at the halfway point of the book. For the next 3 episodes, we'll explore the section titled Amplify. This is to help you to answer one of the most often asked questions of a newbie creative. How do I get work? And how will people find me? We'll put your foundational steps from all the chapters so far into action before you can get out there and run your business successfully. So, in this first episode out of 3, we'll focus on amplifying your message.
When you're first starting out, your work is twofold. Start your business and make sure you make the right people know that you exist. We'll be focusing on making fewer but stronger connections that are more valuable to your long-term success as they become deeper relationships, not collecting an army of followers, in case that wasn't clear from the previous chapter. It might feel as though you have to spend more time on getting your name out there than getting stuck in with the actual creative work at first. But the good news is that you should only need to do this round once. Once you build a core roster of clients, the momentum amplifies from there. Giant brands pump millions into ensuring we hear about and try their product through every available channel. It might take people weeks or longer to first notice the advertising, and secondly, to buy the product, if they ever do. When you scale down the whole situation to consider your fledgling creative business, it seems as though you're pretty much invisible to the general public and far from flying onto the radar of potential clients, also known as prospects. But this is just the beginning, and it gets better from here. If you are an employee of a creative business, your role contributes to the wider company as you're essentially a cog in a big machine. Other people look after promoting the business, working on lead generation, checking data from IP tracking software, analysing incoming website traffic and so on, before someone writes another thought leadership article to appeal to a specific pool of prospective clients. But in a business of one, you are the cog, and it's down to you to move it forward, propping it up from all sides. You create the work, you build the business. You have to tell the right people about it, and then do the accounts and the tax return. The good news is that unlike the mega brands, you don't need to sell millions of tins of baked beans to keep everything going. You can focus on helping a much smaller number of clients by creating work that matters, and that's often much more fulfilling. Amplify your messaging. In the last chapter, we've looked at how to build your portfolio with both physical and digital assets. And as much as you might like them to speak for you, the reality is that they can't always speak for themselves when it comes to landing clients. This is why your messaging is vital to your ongoing success. As a business owner, you need confidence to succeed, and among many other things, confidence is born out of knowing that your messaging is right. The Define section helped you establish the foundations of your business, your philosophy, i.e. what you stand for, and what you wish to achieve. These keep you personally on the right path, but you also need to translate these into words that make sense to your clients, customers, and other people so the world understands you and your path too. This is amplifying your messaging. Your messaging can generally be tailored into 3 different lengths of text used for different situations, depending on what information is required and what your desired outcome is. Version 1. Who are you? What is your title? And what do you do? Version 2. Who are you? What is your title? What do you do? And what is your mission statement? Version 3. Your personal brand statement and a short biography of who you are. In other words, your messaging is sometimes a casual, simple summary of who you are and what you do. But other times it's more formal, like a mission statement that tells the world what your company does, where it does it, why it exists, who its main customers are, and what it's aiming to achieve, the primary goal. Personally, it took me a long time to narrow down what I wanted to say for each of these, as I wanted to tell everyone pretty much everything I was doing at any given time. Like I was a graphic designer who also did illustration, created apps and websites, directed the occasional music video, and made motion graphic pieces here and there. If I'd been more confident at the time, I would have just said, I'm a graphic designer. But I wanted to get across every nuance in case I was speaking to someone who needed those other skills. And in doing so, I probably came across as an unfocused, overzealous, I can do it all. The confidence to shorten it down comes with practice. And it's much easier to nail this when you've taken the time to focus on exactly what skills or products you're offering for exactly which group. Defining a small niche group of customers will help with your messaging and targeting. Just as it's tempting to overlabel yourself with too many titles to appeal to a wider network of potential clients, it's equally tempting to big up the work you've done on projects and stretch the truth about your involvement, like saying you managed the whole project when you actually only did a tiny part of it. By all means, make your work and process look hopping, but be honest about what you do and offer. It makes everyone's life easier in the long term. When you get your messaging right and things start to work out, it will likely feel great to finally see your efforts paying off, and this will increase your confidence. But be aware that this doesn't slip into or get mistaken for arrogance. Sometimes arrogance is a thinly veiled form of anxiousness, where the imposter is overshadowed by the boaster. Other times, the boaster isn't really boasting and is simply proud of what they've achieved. In most situations, it will be up to you to let people know what you stand for and how much you value your creative output, which might make people think you're arrogant. So think about what you say and how you say it. But ultimately, be aware that making people take notice can come with both risks and rewards.